Sometimes the most interesting discoveries hide just out of sight. To uncover the secrets and find out what is lurking, we have to dig, crawl and climb to stumble across these groundbreaking revelations. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll examine 3 interesting yet fascinating discoveries, and could you cope being an astronaut for a year? Ancient Mexican structure is a miniature model of the universe. Archaeologists have uncovered a shrine in the middle of a pond near Mexico City, which they believe represents the universe in Mesoamerican mythology. It is located in the Nahualac site and sits on the side of the Iztaccihuatl volcano, some 3,870 meters above sea level. The stone, tetzacualco, is supposedly a miniature model of the beginning of space and time because it was placed in the exact middle of the pond. The Mesoamerican culture and mythology, architecture and water went hand in hand. According to experts, putting an architectural element like this shrine in the middle of a water source was a significant and vital aspect of their beliefs. The water in the pond helped create the illusion that the stone was floating. It was as if the water were a mirror. Archaeologists even suggest that the Aztecs controlled the water flow to assist in this visual effect. This shrine depicts one of the traditional myths of the Aztec people, how the gods created life and the universe. It represents how the crocodilian monster Iztaccihuatl split heaven and earth to make the world we live in. Iztaccihuatl was a horrific monster with giant fangs, crocodile skin, and a constant hunger for flesh. It was a sea monster that sat on top of the ocean water after the 4th Great Flood. 2 gods, Tezcatlipoca and Tlaltecuhtli, set out to destroy Iztaccihuatl and prevent such a chaotic and horrible monster from roaming the world. In the fight, it lost its lower jaw, which prevented it from diving below the water's surface. Eventually, the 2 gods ripped its body in half, one becoming the sky and the other the earth. The other gods were furious about this violence and decided to make Iztaccihuatl's features part of the new earth. Its hair became trees, its shoulders became mountains, its mouth became caves, and so on. Despite being divided, it was still alive and demanded human blood and offerings, which became a central ritual in Mesoamerican mythology. The impression of the stone floating on the pond's surface represents Iztaccihuatl's body and the microcosm of the beginning of the new earth and civilization. The natural pond is in the shape of a quincunx, a geometric pattern of 5 points set in a cross. The 4 points form a rectangle or square, and the 5th is in the center, much like the stone shrine. A team of archaeologists have been working at this site since 2016 and have found ceramic materials nearby, which they have connected to the ancient Aztec god of rain, Nahualac. They believed that the Aztecs used the pond and shrine to perform a service to Nahualac and other water or land deities. Experts have yet to date the stone itself, but other nearby artifacts have been dated to 750 to 1150 AD. A spiral arm break in the Milky Way. During the summer of 2021, astronomers discovered an unusual break within our galaxy's spiral arms. They found that some of our stars located about 4,000 light-years away from Earth jut out at a different angle to their arm. This discovery was not a surprise to the experts, though. While they had no idea it existed, they also understand that there is much that they do not yet know about our galaxy. It is difficult for astronomers to get a complete picture of the Milky Way when it surrounds them. The break occurs in the Sagittarius arm of our galaxy, which is the portion of the sky that we look at when gazing at the Sagittarius and Serpens Cauda constellations. Although astronomers have seen similar breaks within spiral arms of other galaxies in the universe, it is the first known structure within the Milky Way. The splintered portion extends out for nearly 3,000 light-years from the main arm and contains some of the most famous nebulae and stars of the Milky Way. The Omega, Trifid, Lagoon, and Eagle Nebula are all located within this broken portion, the latter of which is most famous for the Hubble Space Telescope's Pillars of Creation photo. A group of astronomers used data collected from NASA's Spitzer Space Telescope and ESA's Gaia mission to calculate the distances of stars within the nebulae. Distance is usually one of the most challenging things to figure out in space, but the information from Gaia has enabled scientists to measure near precise lengths and uncover this new structure. With NASA's telescope's infrared vision, they could measure the young stars typically hidden in the nebula. Led by Alberto Crone Martins, a professor from the University of California, Irvine, the scientists combined the data to create a three-dimensional map of the stars. Astronomers published their findings in the July issue of the peer-reviewed science journal Astronomy and Astrophysics. They determined that the spiral arm break contains young stars moving in the same direction through space at nearly the same velocity. Additionally, the break has a pitch angle of almost 60 degrees, while the Sagittarius arm has an angle of 12 degrees. The pitch angle is used to measure how tightly the arms of the spiral galaxy are wound. As the arms of the spiral open up, the degree increases. If the spiral is so tightly wound that it creates a circle, the pitch would be 0 degrees. Scientists still do not know the exact cause of these arm breaks within the Milky Way or other galaxies. Likely, the young stars within the break formed simultaneously, so measuring them and their movement will assist the researchers and help them better understand these breaks. Other forces, like gravity and the galaxy's spin, also play a role. The astronomers were not shocked to discover this spiral arm break, but are excited to continue learning about it. They believe that understanding these small details will paint a more extensive understanding of our galaxy as a whole. They will continue to study data from the telescopes and analyze the stars within the Sagittarius arm to hopefully learn something new and significant about the large-scale structures of the Milky Way. NASA looking for people to spend a year pretending they live on Mars. NASA is currently seeking potential applicants to spend a year living in a 1,700 square foot space with 3 other people and pretend they are living on Mars. They describe the job as a 1-year analog mission in a habitat to simulate life on a distant world. Essentially, NASA wants to pay volunteers to live in a simulation to observe how humans would live on the red planet and how they would deal with problems that occur. The lead scientist for NASA's Advanced Food Technology Research effort, Grace Douglas, says that this analog mission will help collect data and benefit actual flights into space. It will allow the researchers to study any unforeseen challenges that might come up during a genuine expedition. Douglas explains that a simulated experience on Earth can still give great insight into both the physical and mental difficulties astronauts will go through during their time in space and on Mars. For this simulation, NASA is currently searching for 4 people to act as crew members and live in a 3D printed module at the Johnson Space Center in Houston. The simulated site is about 1,700 square feet and is called Mars Dune Alpha. It is modeled after the base they expect to build once on the red planet. The candidates are expected to live and work within this space while performing various tasks like robotics, simulated spacewalks, and other communications or research. They must be healthy US citizens or permanent residents between 30 and 55 years old with no dietary requirements or health concerns. Candidates must also have a master's degree in a STEM field or experience in aircraft and piloting. Although these 4 people will be on Earth, they will still experience challenges as if they were actually on Mars. There are currently no windows planned for the base. The food will be ready-to-eat astronaut food, and only some plants will be provided. NASA intends to simulate equipment failure, communication delays, resource limitations, and additional environmental issues. It is meant to create realistic situations and inspire the members to develop solutions while allowing the research team to observe them under incredible amounts of stress. If you qualify for this experiment and want to live out your Martian dreams, you can apply via NASA's website. They expect to hold 3 separate experiments beginning in fall 2022. This analog mission is not for the everyday person, as the perfect candidate is very similar to a real astronaut. They need to be motivated, resourceful, and competent. Living a year away from your everyday life gives you a lot of freedom, but you need to have the knowledge and skill to survive on your own, even to qualify. These 4 crew members won't be astronauts by the end of their year-long mission. While they won't be traveling through space, their experiences and contribution will help bring humans closer to landing and living on the Red Planet. But what do you make of these discoveries and NASA experiments? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.